When you have a major life change at 50 years old, people are like, wait, who are you and what is going on? There were a few people where they just was like, okay, my head is spinning. I got to get it together because I thought I knew you. And I said, well, allow me to reintroduce myself. We like to travel. I mean, we like to make love all around the world. I mean,
we do.
My kids love Jessica. When we first got together, I felt like they would come to my house to see her and not me. And I was like, well, I'm the mama. What's going on? I introduced her as my friend. And they immediately gravitated to her. Immediately was like, oh man, you gonna teach me how to play the guitar? Can I get your phone number? We going to do this, we going to do that. And I'm like, what?
I think we both speak each other's love language. And she's changed my life in such a positive way.
You called me and you said, I gotta tell you something. And I said, well, what is it? You said, not over the phone. I gotta tell you face to face. And I'm like, and I knew exactly what you was coming to tell me. And as soon as I knew, I was like, oh, she coming to tell me she in love with me. And so then I started practicing, I love you too. I love you too. I started getting mine together because I knew. And you came and you looked me in my face and you was like,
I love you.
Mm-hmm. My children had never seen me date a woman before. The youngest one, she's like, Mom, how do you identify? I'm like, identify with what? So we watched a show about how people identify, and there was so many, things. She was like, so, what are you? I said, black and your mama? I was like, I don't know. I was like, first of all, I just got here. Second of all, I don't know. Let me get myself together because I don't even know. And that's when I said, if I had to coin it, I would say I'm Jess, Jess, sexual, because that's all I like. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. And go wash the dishes. My relationship with Jessica started off as private, but it wasn't a secret. And I remember walking through the grocery store with her, just with tears in my eyes. And she was like, why you crying? What's going on? And I was like, I just want to hold your hand in the grocery store, But no one knew what our relationship was at the time. And I didn't want to give it to the world until we had figured it out. That's why when people say you came out of a closet, I was never in a closet to come out of. I just loved who I loved until I didn't. And nobody cared about anybody that I loved until I loved Jessica. There was one day in between the day we got married and the day we actually posted the photo. We had 24 people in our backyard who signed the NDA. And we were like, they're not gonna sit on this too long. We gotta get in front of it. We were in the car on the way to our honeymoon. And we said, let's do it now. It's like, okay, we're both gonna post our wedding photo and then we're gonna put our phones down and we're just gonna focus on each other. We held hands, we said a prayer. I was like, you about to go? You ready? Okay, you go. 1, 2, 3, go. And before we could put the phone down, it was like cling, 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 cling. And we were like, oh Lord. It just went crazy. The good thing about fear is that it's the only time you can use courage. The only time. Any other time, you don't need it. But that's what it's there for, in the face of fear. I wasn't afraid to love Jessica. I was more afraid to not love her. I was more afraid to walk away from the most beautiful soul I had ever met in my life. Listen, we've been married for 3 years. This has been the best 3 years of my entire life. You will always find a community and a village that's going to support you. It may not look traditional. It may not look exactly like how you imagined it in your mind, but you will always find support, grace, love, and beauty when you stand in your authenticity. It's the most amazing thing for someone to see all of you your pain, your childhood trauma, your bullet holes, your shank marks, all of the parts of you, not just the shiny, pretty parts, but to see you in all the whole and still say, come on, and not try to change you. It's the best. Family equality means to me having the same opportunity, benefits, love, experiences as anybody else. People, in queer communities who have had to survive so many different things, they have a strength, they have a fortitude that would make them amazing parents and should be able to create whatever family they want.
I'm a PK. A PK is a preacher's kid because I was raised strict. Family equality has always sort of been my thing, even when I didn't know that was even a thing. And so I really pulled out that unconditional love in spaces and places with my family that allow them to see family equality differently, because it's not just one way.
And wouldn't that be so boring? If everybody in the world did the same thing, wore the same thing, thought the same thing, dressed the same, you know what I mean?
It would be.
The world can be a beautiful place if you just let people live.
Yeah, and be themselves.
And make your own love and mind your own business.
Yeah.
And drink your own water and don't spill other people's tea.
She said it.
She could be a preacher.
There's only one author. There's only one person driving the bus. And you could let a lot of other people's opinion about your story affect you in a way where it makes you doubt yourself, it makes you insecure, it makes you untrusting of your own instinct. Or you can write the story and be like, no. And at any point, get an eraser and scratch that out. Say, I don't want to do that anymore. This is how I want this to end. Love, family, freedom.